Welcome, client acquisition and scaling family. I hope everyone had an amazing weekend. And for those of us in the US, happy Labor Day. And welcome to our Monday Mindset, where we gather every Monday to feed our minds, get tips and strategies, and get motivated to have an amazing week in our business. If this is your first time, type welcome either now, live, or in the replay. Do put that in the comments so we can welcome you to the group. If you'd like to receive SMS reminders so you don't miss one of these mindsets, go ahead and type SMS in the comments and we'll get you on our SMS list where we'll send you a reminder about 10 minutes before the call every Monday. And for my new folks just joining us, my name is Lisa Parziel, and I own a 7-figure marketing agency in North Texas. Now, today we're going to talk about the true meaning of Labor Day and what this means and why it matters to us. And even if you're not in the United States and you don't celebrate Labor Day, stay tuned and pay attention because this should be a global holiday. But let me start by telling you just quickly a little bit about me and why this holiday does really resonate with me so much. You see, I started my business about 10 years ago. And just like you, when you started your business, I had a lot of dreams and hopes, and I aspired so much. I thought it was going to be fun. I thought it was going to be easy. I thought it was going to be different than what it actually is today. And along the way, I struggled. And I ended up struggling so much that I almost quit this business. I was working anywhere from 80 to 100 hours every single week. And I often did that way more than I should. What happened was I got all caught up in my head and in a lot of the false beliefs I had, and in a lot of the things that are probably holding you back, a lot of baggage we all carry with us through life. And I thought working harder was going to be the key to solving all of my problems. I just needed to put in more hours. I just needed to work a little extra. I just needed to work a little harder. And just like the meaning of Labor Day, when we start doing something, it becomes an expectation. And then people in our lives start expecting us to do it. And we even start expecting ourselves to do it. That's how people went from working a reasonable number of hours to all of a sudden working a ton of hours. That's why we have sweatshops around the world. That's why women who didn't used to work now work. We all were chasing the same thing. We all were chasing that better life or success or money. And in that chase, we start working harder and harder. We start working more and more until we end up having nothing left in life except work. And that's where I was in my business. And in fact, I did it for so many years that I forgot what it was like to live, to have holidays, to have weekends, to actually not turn a computer on for a whole day or two, or maybe even 7 for a vacation. I didn't know what that was like anymore. The line started to blur between my life and my business. And trying to get back is very hard. It seemed like it was easy to get where we are, to working all the hours, to working way too much. But how do we stop it? Because once we start earning a certain amount of money, we don't want to stop that money. And we think mistakenly that we just have to keep working the hours and working and working. And that's what I did in my business. And we suffered because of it. Now, what does this have to do with Labor Day? Hopefully by now you're starting to get the idea. The truth is, it has everything to do with Labor Day. You see, no matter where you are in this world, it doesn't matter if you're in the United States or not. It simply doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter what you do. what your business is, the services you provide, the products you sell. No matter. Life should not be all about work. Life should be about living. And we lose sight of that as business owners. We dream of the better life one day we're going to have, while life slips away from us. Life we can't get back, time we can't get back, time with our family and friends, time with the kids. If COVID hasn't taught us anything, it should have taught us simply that life is unpredictable and could possibly be very short. So in the United States, we actually celebrate this holiday we call Labor Day, and it's today. It's the first Monday of September, and it's a national holiday. But the meaning of the holiday, it's become lost. And for the most part, for most people, it simply means a day off from work. Maybe going to a barbecue, going out on the lake, not having to work that day. And for some, it just ends summer for us. It marks the closing of summer as we start moving into fall. However, the meaning of Labor Day, the meaning of the holiday, which again, I think should be a global holiday, is much bigger and greater than that. It's just not about sitting down and eating some food and taking a day off in our life. In the 1800s, the founders who envisioned what life should be like had two very important things they were trying to achieve in the movement. The first one was unifying union workers, because in America in the 1800s, workers were being abused. They were having to work 80 or more hours per week. And if they didn't do it, they would be cast aside and they'd find people who would. There were a lot of factories producing, right? It was the industrial age and a lot of things were changing. So it was a means to unifying union workers and then a reduction in work time. They saw the writing on the wall that people were working too many hours and it was becoming the norm. And so even in the 1800s, if you think about it, it was all too common for people to work 80-hour work weeks. That's crazy to think about that. The first Labor Day holiday occurred in 1882 in New York City. Guys, that was over a century ago. Almost 140 years ago. And it was the founders back in the 1800s who dreamed of a better life, a life consisting of 8 hours of work per day and only 8 hours. And back then, their vision was a little bit smaller. They just thought, hey, wouldn't it be great if we could have a 6-day work week and take Sundays off? Because back then, people were in fact working 7 days of work, often 365 days a year. 10 to 12 hours a day. That's where the term sweatshop came from. Now we've come a long way in the expectation. We've definitely changed some things in the rules and the laws. In the US, it is now customary for people only to be allowed to work a 40-hour work week. Now, commonly it's 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, but in some different places, you might work 12-hour shifts or 10-hour shifts, but totaling 40 hours a week. And if you were asked to work over that, nowadays, you're going to get compensated for that. You'll get time and a half, or on holidays, double time. But the expectation is for you to keep the system honest, for you to say no. Think about that. In the 1800s, they didn't have a choice. They couldn't say no. If they said no, they'd be out of a job. if they said no, they couldn't feed their family. Yet here we are over a century later, and many of us are still working 80-hour work weeks or more. Maybe we're just doing it in one job. Maybe we have two jobs. Maybe you have a day job and a business, a side gig, and you're trying to get your business started. Whatever it is, more people today still work 80-hour weeks. It's just unacceptable, and we have to change it. When I realized that I was doing this, I didn't change it. Back when I started my business, I kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it. I knew how to solve it. I had the answers. I knew exactly what I needed to do, but I wasn't doing it. I wasn't changing. Now, let's be honest. The founders, they had a vision, and the companies and the politicians actually rallied behind the idea. They rallied behind this thing called Labor Day, but it wasn't out of the kindness of their hearts that they did it. In fact, the politicians and the big business back then wanted people to have more time off. And the reason being, it was evident that a worker who put in 80 hours a week had little time to spend the money they were earning. So while the big business was actually getting all this productivity, they realized they needed people to buy the goods in which they were producing. They realized they needed consumers. So by allowing workers more leisure time, the result was they took that working class and also made them a consuming class. In other words, they made consumers out of them. Hey, if we work 10 and 12 hours a day, we're exhausted. If we do that 7 days a week, we never have time to go out and spend the money we're making. So Labor Day, while the founders envisioned less time to have a life, the people that rallied around it knew that it was a good idea for the economy as well. And that consuming class would pump the money right back into the system, and that same money would go right back to those people, the business owners, the politicians, the lawmakers. Unfortunately, Labor Day has lost its meaning considerably in this country. And so if you're not from this country, it literally is no longer about anybody fighting for the right to work or for reasonable hours or for a better life. It simply is a day off for most people, with little recognition of the meaning behind the holiday. The original holiday was meant to deal with the problem of long working hours with very little time off, right? The original holiday wanted to focus on a better quality life for people. So today, on this Labor Day, I would like to make this a global holiday. So no matter where you are in the world, no matter what you do today, how many jobs you have, is it just your business? Is it a job and your business? Whatever is happening, if you're working more than 30 to 40 hours a week, I want you to mark this day, Labor Day, 2021, September 6th. I did have to look at the date. Labor Day, September 6th, 2021. I want you to mark this day and create a new ritual and honor the original spirit of Labor Day. I want you to start with today. Hopefully, you've planned on taking the day off. If not, plan a day off. You're going to see that I am working today. I'm doing this call, and then I have a couple calls scheduled. That was by design because I took off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the reason I did that is I wanted Friday to go do some things while everyone was still working instead of trying to do them on Monday. I made a choice. But I took 3 days off. 3. I didn't work. While I had my phone, I pretty much didn't check it. I checked my computer. I checked my email a couple times during that time. But for the most part, I went out and lived. We worked on the land for 2 of those days. We went shopping. We went out to eat. We just spent time relaxing. So I want you to do the same. I want you to pick a day. If it's not today, I want you to pick a day in the near future. And I want you to celebrate Labor Day globally. I want you not to work at all. Shut off your phone. Shut off the computer, electronic devices. Like, just shut it all off. Go do something. Take a day without work. Now, for some of you guys, you might say, well, being on the computer, like for fun would be fun. Then do that. Do that. But give yourself the day off. Celebrate. Have a barbecue. And do this at least one day a year, where you're mentally recognizing the fact that every single year you should strive to make a better life for yourself, one in which work is just something small in your life. Even if you love your business, it's something small and it's a means to the end. It's a means to buy you freedom. It's a means to buy you the life you always dreamed of. And then I want you guys to make a lasting habit, a habit you're going to let bleed into your work week. You're going to hear my voice in your head every time you look down and realize you've worked 10 or 12 hours in a day. 40 hours or less is your goal. That's your first goal. If you're not doing that today, that's your first goal. If you're working 80, make your goal 70. If you're working 70, make it 60. If it's 60, make it 50. Start small. But you have to take your life back. I remember what it was like when I realized one day that I hadn't taken a day off or a vacation in 3 years. In some way, shape, or form, I had logged on and worked a minimum of a couple hours a day for 3 years in a row. That's miserable. My life was miserable. And I was not making so much more money that it was worth it. I thought hard work was the way to go, but it's not. So I want you to do that. I want you to pick a day every week if you can. Pick a day every week, at least one. Any day you choose. It doesn't have to be every Sunday or every Saturday. Pick one. Block your calendar. Make no appointments with customers. Don't work, period. Just don't do it. You'll be surprised how you get everything done regardless, how you get the same amount of work done in a shorter period of time. Let this be the catalyst for reducing the number of hours you work in your business. Let today be it. Let this be the catalyst for taking your life back and stop working so much, period. Guys, I wasted 3 years of my life I will never get back. And I know some people might argue, Lisa, you didn't waste them because look at your business now. Yeah, no, I did. I did. Every year as I get older, I have less mobility, right? Maybe it's a fraction and it's adding up. Those are 3 healthy years I can't get back. I'm no longer willing to waste even a minute of my life that I don't have to. I'm no longer willing to give that time to the workforce, to the beast that will always consume as many hours as you can give it, whether it be by an employer or self-imposed, which was my case. I changed my ways. I changed my business. And as you guys know, I now live the freedom lifestyle. Now, yeah, remember, I'm working today, working for a few hours. But I did not work for the 3 days before today. I took those days to myself. I didn't think about a thing. I didn't worry about business. My mind was clear. I wasn't stressing. Different than how it used to be. Back when I didn't have everything under control, when I would take a day off, I would constantly be thinking about why I shouldn't be working, why I shouldn't be doing what I need to get back to work. When I would go on vacation, I would constantly think about, I can't afford to take a vacation. I need to constantly work. We have to reprogram our brains not to think like that and program them to think the way I'm thinking now. I earned those 3 days. I have no guilt for them. I enjoyed those days and I already have the next set planned, because that is the life this business can afford you. And that's the life you want. Now, if you're wondering, how did I do it? How did I stop working so much in my business? Look, I can help you with that. Now, we come here every week and I give you nuggets. I try to give you that mindset that's going to change your life. I try to empower you. I try to motivate you. I try to encourage you. But what I can't do is change everything on a simple call like this. We have a program and we can help you change. We can help you make things different. Now, even if you don't go through that program, I hope you've mentally made that switch in your mind today. I hope I've put the seed and planted it there that, hey, I shouldn't be working all the time. I need to take time for myself. So I need to know how to work smart. Look, I know exactly how to help you, step by step by step. Why? Because I've done it for myself, and because I've done it for over 150 people who have gone through our program, who have changed, who are now on their way to that same freedom lifestyle I live today. Some of them quite there in less than a year's time. Don't waste another moment of your life. Now, both of our programs are designed to scale your business without working more hours. In fact, the goal of both of our programs, and we have two, is to reduce the hours you work in your business while increasing your revenue, scaling your business and putting you on the fast track, but without working more hours. In fact, reducing your hours. Now, all I can tell you is, if you want to learn how I stopped doing it, if you want to learn what I've done, go ahead and type fast track in the comments. If you're watching the replay and you're on the fence, just type it in. All we're going to do is reach out to you. I am personally going to reach out to you to schedule a call, a quick call. I want to see what's going on in your business. I want to see if one of our programs is even a good fit for you. If it's not, great. We'll have great conversation. I'll give you some really good tips and you can go out on your own and try to solve this problem. If it is a good fit, great. You can join the program and you can get in and learn everything quicker and easier. It's totally up to you. But don't not make a move. Do something. I remember when I was working 80 to 100 hours a week, I felt paralyzed. I just kept doing the same thing because I didn't have time to fix it. I didn't have time to change it. I didn't have time to do anything. But I had to take that first step because otherwise nothing was going to change. I know how to help you with that first step. I know how to put you on a bunch of steps that'll get you where you need to go. So again, if you're watching the replay, if you're here live, you want to change, you want the true meaning of Labor Day each and every year, plus every weekend, then type fast track in the comments below and do change your mindset. Now, this one's going to be short today. It's Labor Day, and in true fashion, I want to give you back your first 15 minutes to start this. We usually go about 40, 45 minutes, but I planned this one today to be shorter, to show you I can give the same impact in a shorter time and give you back that time. But I don't want you to take those 15 minutes and just run off. I want you to take those 15 minutes, and I want you to, when you get off this call, when you stop watching this replay, sit down with a piece of paper, reflect. Why did you start your business? What were you hoping to do? Do you have a plan to get you there, to correct any of the problems you have, the long hours, the lack of revenue, leads, or customers? And if you don't have a plan, I encourage you to reach out, type fast track, and we will reach out to you and help you start that journey. Guys, I hope this Monday mindset gets your week off to an amazing, and productive start. I hope you have a phenomenal Labor Day, whether you're in the United States or not. Doesn't matter. Celebrate the fact that you work hard and you earned the right not to labor your life away. Okay. And keep in mind, to change your business, you have to start by changing your mindset first. Thanks for joining us today, everyone, on this Monday Mindset. Have a productive, profitable, and enjoyable week, everyone. We'll see you next week.